What's up, y'all? It's Jimmy coming to you guys with another video. Before we get into the video, as always, please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And when you guys hit subscribe, please make sure you guys are hitting that notification button. So this video is gonna be, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a heavy and bold statement. This is gonna be a review on the sneaker of the year, in my opinion. I know what you guys are thinking, Jimmy, sneaker of the year. I really don't think it's too far-fetched because I think this shoe will be on a lot of people's, if not sneaker of the year, at least maybe their top 10 at the minimum. For myself, I'll say they're more so sneaker of the year, more for nostalgic reason and just how long I've really wanted this shoe in my collection. If you guys know me, you guys know I am a frugal master. This whole channel is based on getting frugal aesthetic, frugal looks. Of course, sneakers at the end of the day are going to be a little bit pricey, but I myself, I never, ever, barely ever pay resale. And I'll say I paid resale for the Air Jordan 1 Lost and Founds. So that should be telling you guys something on how much I really wanted this shoe. Usually when I take an L, I can brush it off right away. But I'll say these, when I took the L, I just constantly kept on fiending and I just kept on searching for them, and I budged and bought them for resale. And I'll say even when I bought them for resale, I really didn't feel bad because to me, this is one of those shoes where I just wanted it so much. Sure, price could fluctuate up or down, but at the end of the day, I felt like I got it for a pretty decent price. If you guys are wondering, I got these for $375, and I think that's pretty average for resale right now. And when I picked them up, I put them straight to the toe. And normally when I wear shoes, I don't break them in right away. I have a couple pairs of shoes that are still DS, and I want to say I got them a couple months ago, maybe even a year ago. So it just goes to really show you guys how much I'm really rocking with the Air Jordan 1 Lost and Founds. I know this video is a little late to the party because there is already a bunch of reviews and videos on these shoes on YouTube and really anywhere, but I hope you guys do enjoy my insight and take on these. But getting right into the review, here is the box that the shoes come in. You guys know me, I am a sucker for details, and this shoe is packed and packed with detail. You know, just starting with the box. The box isn't anything too crazy. It's your typical Air Jordan 1 box, but you guys can see they gave it a whole vintage distressed look. And I know you guys are thinking, bro, this guy is a clown. He is super hyped up over this fake age-old box, but you know, I think it's a cool little touch of detail. I myself, I love vintage, thrifting, and all that, so to see Nike actually pay homage to it, yeah, they might be ripping off the culture a little bit, but in a way, someone could look at it and be like they're paying respect to the culture. But you have your vintage looking box. Mainly it's a top cover because typically this right here is black, and on the side you have a little sale sticker right there. I thought this was a pretty cool touch of detail. And then moving on to the size tag, this is going to be your modern size tag. Size tag reads Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG. Colors are varsity red, black, sail, and muslin. These are a size 8, and in my opinion, ones fit pretty true to size. And going to a little touch of detail that I normally pass over, but definitely have to highlight it because again, sucker for detail. Nike decided to give us with a little bit of a special edition tissue paper right there. So you guys can see it's basically a newspaper ad of when the Air Jordan 1s first came out for $59.97. So inflation, the dollar changing, I mean, it's just crazy to see how much they used to cost back in the day. And the one thing I will say I am a little bummed about is not having the OG kind of like Sandy's receipt that came with a lot of the pairs. I don't know if that was like a sneakers only type of detail, but this pair right here is from Shoe Palace, and maybe the seller took the receipt and just kept it for himself, but I didn't receive the cool little detailed OG receipt that comes with most of the pairs. I know again that's also paying homage to basically whenever you first bought the shoes and how they wrote up the sneaker purchase. And finally getting to it after all that talking, here are the shoes. Absolutely beautiful in hand, you guys. I know a lot of people didn't like the cracking on the back portion, on the white portion, but again, I myself, I just love the whole age look to this shoe. If you were to ask me right now, these or the 2015s, I know a lot of y'all are gonna kill me for saying this, but I would take these over the 2015s. I know the 2015s is basically how the shoe looked when it first came out, because when the shoes came out back in the day, they didn't look aged right. They looked new, white, and all that like the 2015 pair does. But I really do like how this 2022 Lost and Found pair looks. So getting to the outsole, like I said, I did wear them right out the box when I first got them. And one thing I will knock on these shoes is that they aren't very comfortable. I know ones aren't known to be like the most comfortable shoe, but for some reason, this pair right here is extremely uncomfortable. Maybe I just have to break in the leather or something like that, but the overall shoe does feel very stiff. A vintage detail that they added to the outsole was to make it look a little bit ashy. Maybe if the shoes has just been sitting, you know, in the back storage for a little bit too long, and we've somehow stumbled upon an OG pair that had just been sitting there for basically 30-40 years. And then moving on to the midsole, nothing special. You have your sail midsole that wraps all the way around. Again, having it sail and not white is one of the vintage details that Jordan Brand decided to do. And then moving on to the uppers, again, this is nothing crazy. This is a color blocking that we've seen time and time again. This is your classic Chicago 1 color blocking. So everywhere you see the red leather, it's a smooth grain leather. I'll say it does feel pretty soft. If I had to do like a quality comparison, if you have the Bread Toes, which I know a lot of us thought was super good quality, I'll say it's like 1 notch or 2 notches below that. It does still feel very soft, but I don't know, it does still also feel a little synthetic and fake. And then when you go to your toe box and then your 2 side panels on the lateral and inner portion, you have like a cracked white leather. I know a lot of people were having quality check issues from Nike on this cracked leather portion, because I think some people it looked too cracked or wasn't cracked enough. I feel like for this pair here, it's like the right amount of crack to me. Like it doesn't look too crazy. It doesn't look too smooth. I'll say it looks like how I feel like Jordan Brand intended it to look like. And I also forgot to mention the swoosh is also a fine grain leather similar to the red leather. And then moving on to the heel portion, which I know was a big miss for a lot of people. Like this was really the detail that everyone did not really like, was not a super big fan of. I don't want to say super cracked, but it's definitely more noticeable than the white leather that you see on the toe box and midsection panels. So you guys can see right there, really cracked black leather again to really show that whole vintage story, vintage look behind these shoes. And then moving on to the laces, it came with 2 pairs of laces, sail laces and black laces. For myself, I decided to go with the sail laces. I think black actually looks pretty good too, but for myself, sail was definitely the way to go. And then you have your sail tongue and red Nike Air tag with the Nike Air in that sail color and a black line to finish off the shoe. And now moving on to my favorite portion of the video, I'm gonna show you guys how these look on feet. So I hope you guys enjoyed that on-foot look of the Air Jordan 1 Lost and Found. Like I have been raving about them this whole review. These are my sneaker of the year, a shoe that I paid resale for. The first shoe I paid resale for in quite a while. Once I bought them, they went straight to the toes. So you guys can really see how much I'm rocking with this shoe. But let me know down below in the comments, did you guys manage to hit on a pair? And whether or not you guys are feeling these or not. Like I said, I feel like a lot of people are kind of in between, where they either really like them or they don't like them at all. For myself, I fall on the extreme end of loving them. And similar to what Mr. Foamer Simpson does, I'll probably have to wear these for 30 days straight and come back and do another video on them to tell you guys my second thoughts and opinions on them. But it's gonna wrap the video. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.